How's it going? Strife here, and this is the walkthrough for CM Path 3. So this path overall, it's the easiest and quickest of all the CM paths, so if you do need tokens for some reason, this is the one that I would suggest doing. So first thing we're going to do, we're actually going to fight the boss we skipped in Path 1. So Sure Shot Seamus, once he becomes attackable, he'll have 3 adds that we're going to LOS on this corner. If you have some type of projectile reflection, it makes this part really easy because the adds are going to die very quickly while they're in the reflection. So you can see we use the Mesmer feedback there. From there, Sure Shot Seamus starts with dual pistols just for a few seconds. Then he's going to switch to the shotgun. So you can see it's his only attack. He's going to do about a 1-second charge up and then fire. If you constantly move like I am right now, just keep moving where he's not pointing, you won't get hit. If you do get hit though, you want a stun breaker, stability, or like I use my Aegis sometimes. But overall not too bad as long as you keep moving there. So we're going to pick up our chest. You can see I'm equipping Wall of Reflection now. I'm going to use it for this next part. So first thing we want to do, this door is open. There's going to be 3 mobs in here. 2 of them are cut purses. So if you've watched the Path 1 video, you want to focus on those first because they're thief type mobs that put on a bunch of bleeding and poisons on you. Alright, so this next part is where I'm going to use Wall of Reflection to stop these net turrets. Then we just want to run. You can double dodge past the hallways where the flame turrets are and go to this back group here. Once we get here, it's just the rifleman, a bomber, and a cut purse. Pretty easy overall. And then you do want to move back a little bit if you're getting hit by the flame turret so you're not taking unneeded damage, obviously. So next we're going to hit the switch on the wall and then we'll be in this, I guess it's like the puzzle type sequence of this dungeon. You want to pick up the air guns like you saw, and then there's a bunch of rocket turrets in here that are going to fire rockets. You need to reflect the rockets back with your air gun. All 5 buttons on your weapon skill bar do the same thing, so you can use any of them, but they share a short global cooldown as you can see. So the easiest way to do it is to keep walking back and forth, walk backwards when your cooldown is off, and then go forwards obviously when you can reflect. It's not really good to move side to side if you can avoid it, because if the rockets are targeted towards you, they're going to go into the wall, so you're going to waste rockets and time ultimately. And if someone goes down, just get them up really quickly. But what I usually do is I'll hit it, and then once my cooldown's on, I'll just evade backwards once. It's a really good way for people to see that you are out of air, or you're on your cooldown rather. So you should be finishing this up shortly. Once these turrets are dead, the door up here is going to open and we're going to be at the second boss of this path. You just want to drop your guns because they're useless now. And then after this talking sequence ends, you can see there's a bandit enforcer directly ahead of me. If you hit that mob with a ranged weapon, it's going to pull him and the boss only and leave the other 3 adds. So we're going to do that first. So you just want to focus the enforcer down really quickly. As far as the boss, his pretty much only attack is bombs. So if you do have reflection, it's going to reflect those bombs and prevent you from taking damage. So you saw I had a bunch of like 2k hits right there from all his bombs being reflected back towards him. If you don't have reflex, you kind of don't want him to be in this corner if you're meleeing, because it makes it harder to dodge all the bombs and they're going to pretty much point blank you in the face. But overall not too bad with reflex. And then once we come in here, we're going to finish off these adds, but we're actually going to pull them to this far wall. The reason we're pulling them over here is once they die, this whole hallway that we just ran through is going to become activated with spike traps, and then 2 riflemen and a bomber, I believe, are going to spawn right here, which you can see. So normally you would have to like run through this hallway while they're shooting you and throwing bombs at you and try and avoid those spike traps in the hallway, so it gets kind of difficult. By doing it this way, you can see we were already at the other end, and could just DPS them down. There is a chest back on the other side. You can either run back across now, or we're just going to do it at the end and waypoint back. So we're in the same room as path 1, just a different entrance. You saw I could jump over and not aggro. Some of the rest of my group just ran through. It's not a big deal if you aggro them because the run is actually shorter than path 1. So if you could do the path 1 run, then the path 3 run should be even easier. And then this part's exactly the same up until the last boss. So again, we're going to LOS the riflemen. Initially there are 2 riflemen and then 4 more are going to spawn and just run in here. Looks like the NPC's holding them up right now. So once these riflemen die, looks like we have one more here that was delayed. Alright, so once we finish that rifleman, we'll just get the chest up here again, then we'll clear out this hallway. So first there's these 2 roaming mobs, a archer and a thug. Just want to LOS here and burn them down. And then from here again, I'll run in this hallway. Don't be bad like me here and mess up your dodge and get down though. So sometimes this group of mobs in the middle, they'll immediately aggro you when you get in the hallway and get targeted. It looks like this time you actually have to hit them with a ranged weapon. So once you hit them, we're just going to, again, LOS on this corner. It looks like a lot of mobs, but there's only 2 silver mobs in here. The rest are just normal, so they die really quickly. And then focus on the thug and this hooligan, I guess. Alright, from here we're just going to get your loot and then run up the hallway. And we'll go up again on this catwalk. If someone does get down, you can just res them up really quickly. It's not a big deal. And then up here are the 2 enforcers again, which are like riflemen. So we'll just burn them down really quickly, and then we will head straight to the final room where the boss is. As far as this final room, so I'll start talking about it now. Again, we're going to jump off this ledge. We're going to jump off the second ledge into the water. And then we are going to leash these mobs in the back wall underwater. From here, we're actually going to have to kill 3 riflemen first before this boss right here becomes activated. So we'll do that shortly. As far as the boss goes, he has different strategies if you are ranged or you're melee. If you are ranged, he's going to fire a projectile at you, which you can just like strafe back and forth to avoid. Then he's going to put a shield up. It looks like a big air current, which reflects projectiles. So if you are at ranged, then you need to watch out for that so you stop attacking when he puts that up. It does look like we pulled the group up above, somehow became aggro to us. So we're just going to burn them down really quickly. If you are having trouble with them, you can always go back in the water and releash them as well. So we're going to finish this archer and this last rifleman. The boss will become attackable. So as far as the melee technique goes, obviously we're going to do that one. This is where I'm going to switch out for consecrate or hollowed ground rather. The reason I'm doing this is he has a knockback, so I'm going to have pretty much 100% uptime for stability with stand your ground and hollowed ground because he's going to die very quickly with the time warp. So I just want to do that to reduce our DPS loss. Besides that, his attacks aren't too damaging. He's just going to do this rock attack, which you saw did bleeding, and it actually knocks you back if we didn't have stability. Then you saw the air current, which doesn't affect us in melee range. So overall, he's pretty easy actually, and you can see we burned him down rather quickly. So that is it for CM Path 3. Hope this helped, and thanks for watching.